But they say you don't know what you've got until it's gone, and that's exactly how I feel about my next guest. Please welcome back to the Glitter Dome the delightful Tim Wonnacott and the gorgeous Judy Murray. Hello, my darlings. We've missed you both.
I know, it's been awful, hasn't
Purple
it?
sofa. It's been terrible. I don't know how you've
seriously.
survived without us, Tim.
Well, the only thing is you got some smashing trees out of it.
I know, we did. Our little Christmas house. We're thanking you with a mince pie and some cranberry tea. It's supposed to be mulled wine, but they won't let me near booze, which is fair enough. You left the show in week 4, Tim. It seems like eons ago, like another series. It was that long ago. Have you been keeping up, though, with the dancing?
Well, it is a long time ago, I have to say, and it's been a lasting sadness to me.
Oh.
That these weeks have travelled past so quickly. But I have been observing from afar.
Have you?
And thoroughly enjoying the series, actually.
Yes, have you been impressed?
Well, I have been, because, you know, clearly the standard is unbelievably high that needs me leaving in week 4.
Well,
I mean, how else would, you know, the tragedy have come about, were it not for these super skillful people who are knocking around this delightful show. No, it's been, it was sad to go, and I've loved watching. And I'm so proud of my friend who survived for how many weeks?
Just a few more than you, but not very many.
No, she did.
A few more than
week
you.
8, wasn't it?
I know.
Yeah,
week
8.
It was incredible.
Twice as long.
Have you seen Anton since have you not been with us? Someone told me that maybe you played tennis with him at Wimbledon.
We did. We played tennis at Wimbledon last Tuesday.
How is his backhand?
He calls his backhand the heartbreaker. It's something like this, and it hardly raises off the floor. And I said, why do you call it the heartbreaker? He said, because when you see it coming, it breaks your heart.
Oh my goodness me! Is Anton as good at tennis as you are at dancing?
I'd say equally as bad.
Fantastic.
So it works very well.
It works brilliantly. We're going to have a little wander through all our couples this weekend. But first of all, you are coming back to the ball, aren't you, for the final? What treats do you have in store for us, Tim?
Not quite sure what my tricks might be.
I know, because we were just saying you never got to do lifts with Natalie.
No, I never got to
You never got to juggle her.
I'd love to do a lift or two with Natalie. Perhaps she'd be kind with me and pick me up.
Yes, because you get to pin you on one finger.
Exactly.
She's
right.
really good like that.
She's awfully fit.
She is awfully fit. That's one way of putting it. Right, let's have a look, first of all, at the controversy of the weekend. Pixie and Trent and their cha-cha-cha. Now, Len issued some warnings for everybody about lifts.
Next week, if I see lifts, I will penalise you. You did 3 tonight in a dance that you actually shouldn't have done 1. So, but I'm letting that go because that's the sort of bloke I am.
We're built on breaking the rules, so...
Yeah, well, you can break the rules. You're more than welcome. I'm more than happy to give you a 6 instead of a 9. So, that's the way it goes.
One of those slightly awkward moments, because I know Trent was only actually having fun with Len there. And obviously Anton stood up for you quite a lot when he was out there with you, didn't he?
Yeah, he had to, really. Partly because I was so bad, but the other part was I was so out of breath at the end of the dance that I couldn't speak up for myself.
But it does happen, though, doesn't it?
You did do a few lifts.
We did loads of lifts.
Yeah, but didn't they irritate Len a bit too?
I think I said this before, but Anton realised very early on in our partnership that our best chance was to keep my feet off the ground, so we had lots of lifts.
But even when you weren't supposed to, that's the point.
Yeah,
isn't it, really?
but not in the cha-cha-cha.
Not in the cha-cha, but your feet were on the floor in the cha-cha-cha.
Yeah, bizarrely, and I did it even worse.
Do you think, though, if you'd been penalised for your lifts, though, Judy, what would have happened to your scores?
I think my scores would have gone down to around 0.
Yeah, I know. It wouldn't have been half as entertaining as well. We loved your lifts, especially the plank lift. I absolutely loved it. Tim, your first ever dance was the cha-cha-cha. How much did you enjoy Pixie and Trent's dance?
I thought theirs was absolutely divine. Mine was better, but, you know, theirs wasn't half bad.
No one liked to say that, but yeah.
If you knew how hard I tried for that first cha-cha-cha, I mean, we went through hell and back, Nats and I, to get to that standard, and I was so pleased with it, and shattered when absolutely nobody else agreed.
It was a shambles.
Those judges were so horrible, and I felt so crestfallen.
Oh, bless you.
But there we are. I mean, this double dirty nappy business, people forget that quite quickly. I haven't forgotten it.
I know. Well, the thing is, it's quite hard to pick yourself up, isn't it, when the judges have said quite harsh things, especially, I mean, you think about Pixie, she'd worked so hard, and then the judges were talking about inconsistency in legs. I mean, her legs were pretty brilliant, Judy, I thought.
I think she's phenomenal. I think she's a phenomenal dancer. She's a phenomenal singer. She's a phenomenal actress, and she's a phenomenal kid. So, in my eyes, she can't do any wrong, and I thought she was absolutely brilliant.
What did you think about Pixie and Trent going out the competition this weekend, Tim?
Well, I put the Kleenex away, just about. I mean, it was a tragedy, wasn't it? I mean, how could that happen? clearly it
What
did.
would you have done, though, if you two had been on the judging panel? Who would you have saved? I mean, you've got an American Smooth against a Cha-Cha-Cha. You've got Pixie and Trent against Simon and Christina. What would you have done, Judge Judy?
See, I think I don't know enough about dancing to make a really informed comment about this, but I think what must be very difficult is judging two different dances, and I think that was where it became interesting when you saw them all doing the waltz and they were all kind of doing the same thing. Then maybe it's easier to separate them. But I think when you see somebody doing a cha-cha-cha or a Latin against a ballroom, I think that must be quite difficult to decide which one, unless it's very obvious.
Yes, I know, and they both were rather brilliant, and it really did come down to the wire. Let's talk about Simon and Christina and their American Smooth. When you're in the competition, Tim, Simon was in the bottom two. Are you surprised and elated about how far he's come?
Well, it is extraordinary, isn't it? I mean, the man's gone through a complete transformation from being on the back foot, so as to speak, to being very confident. And when he got through this round, the way he dropped to the floor seemed to be completely overcome, which I think was absolutely true. He did not expect to win through against Pixie.
I think Simon was expecting to be in the bottom two this week. You could see it when they were waiting.
Yeah. But he didn't expect to win from the bottom two, did he?
No,
I mean, he really didn't. And when it happened, I thought it was an extraordinary reaction.
Craig said that Christina was protecting Simon by placing his hands in certain places, because Craig's been banging on about his spatulistic hands. But that's kind of what the pro should do, isn't it? It's, you know, play to your strengths and not your weaknesses.
Absolutely. I think as the pros can be very clever about hiding your weaknesses and working the dance around what you can do. But I think the pros can be very clever. They can make the dance look fantastic by hiding what they need to hide, and that's their job.
They didn't need to do it with you, though, did they?
No, not at all.
You know, he didn't need to hide anything at all. Caroline and Pasha and their Argentine tango, which, frankly, I thought was the dance of the night. They went traditional with their music, and it really worked, didn't it, Judy?
Yeah, I was watching with my daughter-in-law, who's Colombian, and she was so happy that it was traditional music for this one. I thought they looked fantastic. Their outfits, the backdrop, it was dramatic, and I think Caroline, the last few weeks, she has been absolutely phenomenal.
Oh, she's had top scores the last 2 weeks. Do you sort of look and think, hang on a minute, maybe this could be Caroline's competition?
Well, that's the point, isn't it? I mean, Flackers has gone places.
Flackers, we love her.
That nobody would have predicted at the outset.
Flackers been places no one would ever have predicted. I like that.
Yeah, like Argentina.
Yeah, exactly. Tangoing. No, she's done unbelievably well. I mean, that's a heck of an improvement, isn't it? Although she did dance before, didn't she?
Did she?
I think so.
I'm not sure.
She had a certain amount of dancing
I'm confused
experience.
by all of that.
Okay.
Mark and Karen and their foxtrot. You were in the dance-off also with Mark, and look how far he's come. Do you think he could win it, Tim?
I do, but I think he was very lucky to win the dance-off against me.
I know, he just scraped by there.
He was clearly
Things could have been very different.
He was clearly at the bottom of his curve at that particular moment, but the ball span back. You know, he could go anywhere with it, couldn't he? But he is such a delightful young man. I mean, how old is he? Is he 25? Probably not 25.
16.
Is he 27?
Yeah.
I mean, very, very young. And he certainly, I don't think, had any previous dance experience. I think he's come to this completely.
He was a rookie, I think, when we all started, and he was also very, very nervous, very anxious about performing the first few weeks. I mean, really nervous, and he has improved. For me, he's the one who's improved the most. No question.
And this is a professional coach.
I know, she is a professional coach.
Yeah, she knows how to spot.
And now a professional dancer, I think we'll all agree. Jake and Jeanette and their Charleston, again, brilliant performance from Jake. That great dash of comedy and incredible lifts and moves. Did this take you back to your Charleston, Tim?
Not really, no. But because what he's got there is this fantastic Charleston swing, which we now understand about, don't we? Because we watched the programme and been involved. I had no idea what Craig was talking about, this swing business.
The swing and the swivel.
Yes, the swing and the swivel. And this completely lovely theatrical take, which, of course, Jake puts the spin on that because he's an actor and he knows exactly how to do all that.
He does. Let's quickly talk about Frankie and Kevin and their salsa. They were in the bottom two. Judy, do you think they deserve to be there? Not in the bottom two, at the bottom of the leaderboard.
I think it's, I mean, the leaderboard was actually very tight. There wasn't much in the scores between, actually, most of them. There was 3 of them, I think, on 35.
On 35.
And they were just a point. So there was really nothing in it. And again, I mean, I thought Frankie looked fantastic, and Kevin's always so full of energy, and I think he brings the best out in Frankie, and they look good together. And yeah, they're contenders as well. I think everybody that's left has a chance of winning. They're all so
Anyone
good.
could win it. Tim, who would you like to win it?
It's a difficult one, that, isn't
Yeah.
it? You can't have favourites. It's
You
like
can't.
with your children.
I'm not allowed.
and
You
whatnot.
are, though.
Well, I don't know that I can, Rick, because
They're all friends.
they're all up for it.
OK.
And I think, you know, I would love them all to win.
Good. Judy, do you have a favourite?
I don't have a favourite. I think they're all fantastic. And you're right, we've all become such great friends that actually it doesn't matter who wins. We'll be happy for whoever
You'll
wins.
be happy. And you will be there in your resplendent glory. Thank you for coming to see us again. Tim and Judy!
Thank you.
We will be speaking to our eliminated couple, Pix